Hey buddy. Hey, how's it going? So my show, I was hoping I could get in there. No? It's okay, it's cool, it's cool. All right. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Prop Shop. I'm Bill Duran, and one of the most common questions I get from you guys is about making custom visors for your costumes. Now, the best way to make a custom visor, of course, is using vacuum forming, and we just did a video on how to build your own vacuum form machine. We also have a video in our Prop 3D series that's all about making a really great vacuum forming buck. So check out both of those videos, and then I'm going to show you how to take that custom made hollow visor and tint it so that it is the color that you want. Now, my buddy Danquish, the famed ninja cosplayer, came to me because he was doing a Snake Eyes costume and he wanted one of those really custom visors made for his Snake Eyes helmet. Sometimes you can get away with using a motorcycle visor, but in this case it was so precise we needed something that was perfect. So we made a custom buck for it, and I had it vacuum formed over at my buddy Mario's place. He's got a big vacuum form table. You should check out his page at Arms, Armor, and Awesome. Then I had a totally clear piece of PETG plastic that would not do because you need to obscure Snake Eyes' face. You can't see him. No one knows what he looks like. So I tinted it. Ta-da! So at one point this was clear and we tinted it to look, it looks like it's totally opaque, like it's black, but you can actually see through it because the tint isn't an opaque finish. This clothing dye that we use just adds a darker tint to the plastic, so you can still see through it, but from the outside it looks totally dark. We've tried this process before. It used to work with RIT dye. Doesn't work anymore. We used a different dye called iDye Poly, which will be linked down below. And we followed along. Our friends over at Cosplay for Us All did a great video showing how they tint their Zero visors from Borderlands. Obviously, you should go check out that video too. But I'm gonna show you how we did the Snake Eyes visor. Now, this process can get pretty messy because you're using dye. Work in an area like your garage where you're not worried about getting dye on stuff. And you can put down some construction paper too to take care of any spills you may have. You'll need a couple of buckets and a heating element. We got this little burner on Amazon for like $8, and a big old jug that we got from a secondhand store, again, for just a couple of bucks. That jug, that big metal pot, is going to get tinted whatever color you put in it. So don't use something that you intend to cook with. There's also a second bucket. This is just from the hardware store, and it gets filled up with cold water. Like I said, the dye we used is called iDye Poly. There's a specific one for, I believe it's for synthetic fabrics, but it works great on PETG plastic. Now, back when we vacuum formed these pieces, we left some extra bit of the plastic on the edges. This way I could punch some holes in there and put a hanger on that so that we could dunk it in and out of the hot dye without dyeing or burning our fingers. Then we put the pot full of hot water on the burner and turned up the temperature to get it nice and warm. You want this to be at about 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to try and hover it there. Don't go over 150 or else you risk melting the plastic and deforming it. This is where a clip-on thermometer helps a whole bunch. Once you're up to temperature, you can dump in your dye packets. They come with a little packet of dye that disintegrates, as well as some goo that helps with the color, I guess. Mix it all in. Get your stew going until it's all integrated into the water. If your vacuum formed plastic has that protective film on it, now is a great time to peel that off. With your dye ready and up to temperature, all you gotta do is take your vacuum formed piece and dunk it in there for about 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, slowly pull it out, taking care not to get dye everywhere, and then quench it in your cold water, rinsing off any extra dye. Then you can survey your progress and see how it goes. For ours, we used 3 packets of dye in 1 bucket of water, and that seemed like it was a lot. Just 1 dunk added a whole lot of color, although your results may vary depending on your ratio of dye to water. If you want it to be any darker, then put it back in the hot tub. Dunk it again in your bucket of warm dye for another good 5 minutes. Then pull it out again and quench it again and survey your results. Repeat until your visor is tinted to your liking. Again, remember, it doesn't actually have to be super duper dark. If you're putting this on a helmet and it closes off all the light, you won't be able to see in, believe it or not, but you can still see out. When you're happy with the color, you can rinse that right off and then make sure you towel the whole thing off to avoid getting any water spots. Sometimes if the dye stays there, it'll create some little spots. Did you guys see? Oh. Finally, you can use a plastic cleaner or a plastic polish to clean up the surface of your tinted piece. And that's it. Your visor is nice and dark. Like I said before, you totally can't see in, but you should be able to see out, so long as you didn't tint it like a whole lot. Now you can trim all that extra flashing off of the sides of your piece and install it in your helmet. There you go, everybody. This video, along with the rest of our vacuum forming videos, should arm you to be able to make your own custom visors just like this one. There's it, but I want it. Yeah. Oh, fine. As always, links to all of the materials that you need will be in the description below. If you like this video, of course you want to make sure you subscribe. We have a bunch more stuff coming up, very similar to this one, that you're not going to want to miss. And also, like I said, we have our other vacuum forming videos. You definitely don't want to miss them, especially as a precursor to this video. Go check them out. And thank you guys for hanging out this week, and we'll see you next time right here in the prop shop.